Hello and welcome into the KE Report. I'm your host, Shad Markowitz, and today we're getting an update on Thor Explorations, traded on the TSX.V under the ticker THX, on the London Exchange under the same ticker THX, and on the OTC markets under the ticker THXPF. And we're joined today with the president and CEO of Thor Explorations, Segun Lawson. And Segun, it's great getting you on the show to get an update on the company. We just chatted a little while back about some of the Q1 financials and some of the updates at Segilola and at Douta, but you put out a press release just recently talking about some of the positive exploration results coming in from the Douta Gold Project. Just as a reminder for people listening in, the company has two key projects. The Segilola project is a producing mine in Nigeria, and then the Douta Gold Project is in Senegal, and that's what we'll be talking about today is some of the exploration work going on at this project. Give us an update here, Segun, on what the team's been doing on the ground.
Hi, Shad. Thanks very much for having me on again. And yeah, like you rightly say, we have two key projects in the company. One is obviously Segilola, our flagship project, which is producing gold. And then the second project, which I guess doesn't get as much attention, is the Douta project. And, this is a project which we've been growing over the last few years through drilling. It has a global resource of 1.78 million ounces, of which half of that is already in the indicated category. So it's by no means a small project. And, if you look at the average depth of our intercepts, we still have a long way to go down. We still have a number of untested targets. So this is a project that we believe can continue to deliver a significant scale for a company our size. Now, this year we set out to deliver a PFS. We pushed that back into the second half of the year. And while we were the reason we did that is because we were also thought we would kick off a 15,000 meter drill program, really targeting the shallow oxide component of the resource. So that's where the first part of this drilling has come from. Our first set of results came out this week, and we were very happy with them. We had some very good intersections, which were wide as well, 24 meters wide, grading over 3.5 grams per ton. And that was right from surface. We had 12 meters at 1.4 grams per ton, 9 meters at 2.74 grams per ton. So this just goes to show that we continue to add ounces and tonnage to this deposit. Now, what does that mean in terms of where we're going with this project? It's our intention to continue to build mines, and this project is already in our portfolio. So it's an organic opportunity. When we complete our preliminary feasibility study later on this year, it's going to be the first time we can put tangible economics to this project. And, we're very excited about it. So we continue to carry out this drilling, and all these drill results are going to be incorporated into an updated resource and preliminary feasibility study.
Well, let's dig into it a little bit more. That's a nice summary of the Douta project. And I think it's important, you mentioned you have 1.78 million ounces already defined, and a lot of that already in the indicated category. But maybe just share with people the journey this asset's been on, because when we first started talking, you just had the Makosa main area, and then you found the Makosa tail, and you found Sambara and all these other areas of interest along this big strike lake. So just walk people through the size of this project, the scale that you've made multiple discoveries, and just share a little of the history of what's happened up until now at Douta.
Yeah, look, for us, this is a very prospective bit of ground in West Africa. It's 5 kilometers away from Massawa, which is owned by Endeavour. That was the largest undeveloped gold deposit in Senegal up until they started putting their plant in. So we know we're on a very prospective bit of ground. But like you rightly say, we had our initial discovery. This was a grassroots project we had. Initial discovery was Makosa, and then we went to the south of Makosa. We extended that to the south, and the strike length of Makosa tail is about 7 kilometers. So this goes back to my earlier point about only having drilled to not a very deep depth. Then we started looking along strike the license Sambara. We've drilled out 100,000 ounces there. We have other targets along the license that we haven't drilled, Mansa and Maka. However, last year, we started, when we were doing some infill soil geochem and getting more interpretations of the structural controls, we discovered Makosa East, and that's where we've now drilled. That currently has a strike length of, around about 2 kilometers. And then these are where these results are from. So there's a lot of gold in this area. And I think unlike Segilola. This is compared to Segilola, this is a much larger project. So this is a project that, if we do build, as we plan to do and hope to, it's a project that could potentially have, much longer mine life, 12, 15 years on the back of the envelope. So yeah, look, we're excited by this bit of ground, which is why we're carrying out all this drilling right now, 15,000 meters. And we hope to have all the drilling completed by the end of Q3 at the latest, if not sooner.
Well, and as you pointed out, even in these recent drill results, one of the things that sticks out to me, Segun, is the width of the intercepts, 24 meters, 12 meters, 9 meters, 8 meters of good grades for an open pit mine. A lot of people have to remember that there's open pit mines operating in Nevada or in parts of Australia that are at half a gram per ton gold, or even 0.3 grams per ton gold. We're talking about 1 to 3 grams per ton gold here. So maybe not as high of grade as Segilola, which is very high grade. I think it averages 3 to 4 grams per ton, but still fantastic grades for an open pit. Maybe talk to us about how the mineralization is tying together when you look at these drill results.
Yeah, look, when we look at Makosa Tail, that's one continuous ore body. Like you say, it's wide, low strip ratio. And I think what's exciting about this is that, a lot of these, this mineralization is from surface. So easy, should I say, digging without having almost free dig, should I say, in the oxide component before you move into the fresh. And, to be where we are in terms of ounces with an average depth of about between 60 and 80 meters true depth, and having not closed out this deposit at depth as well, we're very excited by it. I personally think there's a lot more gold here to be discovered. I think, once we complete our PFS and we start looking to get this thing permitted and move towards a build, we're very excited to show the market the value there is here to be unlocked, which I currently don't think is currently priced into our share price. I believe we're valued strictly as a Nigeria producer. So, this is very exciting for us. I think it's a project that certainly can be built, and a project we're looking forward to taking us to that next level of being not just a single mine producer, but having 2 producing mines in our portfolio.
Yeah, it will be exciting to see it as mine number 2. And I know you still have a lot of work behind the scenes the team is doing to get towards that PFS. So besides the drilling and exploration, you've still got, the 15,000 meter program. I'm sure we'll talk about further results, but what other work is the team doing to prepare for the PFS?
Look, the various PFS work streams are ongoing. So all the geotech's been done, the environmental work has been done. Now we're just really focusing on the process flow sheet, and we're prioritizing the oxide before moving into the fresh, because the oxide from our initial tests, recoveries of, close to between 92 and 95%. So that was the main objective of this drill program. And our strategy was to get that oxide up to critical minimum level, and then, bring in the rest of the ore body into the mine plan.
Just a quick follow-up on that. Obviously, mining the oxide at surface, like you say, almost a free dig situation is ideal because it's the most economic, easiest to process. But do you envision Douta being similar to Segilola in that you could start open pit, but then potentially over time shift to underground? Is that a potential here?
Look, it's very early days, but, I don't see any reason why not. But I think the difference here is that there's a lot of gold in the open pit. A vast amount of gold that we believe can run for a number of years.
Well, and just one more, Segun, on the team that you have in place in Nigeria, some of the lending groups, some of the partner groups you've had, they've seen you build a mine in a country that didn't have a gold mine, and you were a first mover there. Maybe speak to some of the synergies of how some of that team and knowledge and some of those relationships could be applied to Douta.
Yeah, look, we think we have 2 long-term strategic relationships that are very, very advantageous. Our largest shareholders are Africa Finance Corporation and also our senior lender. That's a big advantage when looking at other mines to finance. And secondly, our EPC contractor is a shareholder of ours. And, we're both aligned in terms of our vision. There would be the automatic choice to turn to strategically when we're looking to build more mines. So we're very well positioned financially and technically, should I say, in terms of our relationships to go out and develop mines in this part of the world.
All right, well, we'll wrap it up there. Exciting times for the company, and I'm sure that there'll be more drill results to come that we'll talk about in the future from Douta and also from Segilola, because I know you still have ongoing drilling there. So lots going on with Thor Explorations, and if people want to follow along with the news from Thor Explorations, definitely click on the link below this interview. It takes you directly over to the company website to their news section. Segun, keep us posted as more news breaks. We'll get you back on the show for another update, and looking forward to our next conversation.
Thank you very much, Chad.